Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Shubha Jyoti and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk to students who aspire to become future doctors, basically students around their 10th standard, 11th or 12th, whatever, who's actually preparing for their NEET UG. I want to make this video because I know the kind of effort and hard work that goes into these competitive examinations. The competition is so tough, you put in so much for this. And later on in life, if you realize that this is not something that you actually wanted to do, it's a very it's a very different level of dilemma that you will be facing in the future. And I don't want anyone to go through this. So I'm going to be talking to you about what it actually takes to become a doctor. At the end of the video, you'll be able to understand for yourself if this is something that suits you and whether this is something you want to do for the rest of your lives. So, yeah, let's get started. For me, I think it was around 18 years of age that I realized that doing things for other people is what makes me happy. That is what drives me. That is what gives meaning to my life. So, that is what made me choose this career because I knew I could help other people out. Yeah, and for most people, I think that is the major reason why anyone chooses this career path. And it's a great reason to actually take up becoming a doctor as a career because there's not many people who actually have that quality of compassion. And if you do have that, it's one of the qualities that actually is required to become a doctor. It is essential. But let me just break it down to you. That's not the only quality that is required. There's a lot more factors and things that need to be considered apart from this. Now, we all know if you are choosing to become a doctor, you will be having a very hectic lifestyle. That is something that is obvious. Um, you will be having about 4.5 years of academics in your MBBS and 1 year of rotatory internship where you are introduced to the kind of work schedule that you will be having. Your residency becomes the time when the peak time when you actually understand the kind of work that you need to do. And for me, it was around 36 hours of duties at a stretch, and it was very hectic. We barely got some time to just go to our room, sleep, take a bath, do the basic minimum, and just get back to our duties after that. So it is very hectic. But let me tell you, this is important. It is required. You are going into a field where you will be handling lives of people, right? You are going to be treating real live patients, people. And it's a great responsibility. It's not a joke. And so I think to train to become someone like that, it is important that you have to put in that amount of hard work because it is a field like that you are choosing. So if you really want to become a doctor, be prepared to survive that kind of a very hectic lifestyle. I have also put in that kind of work. Anyone you see who's become a big, great doctor today, everybody has gone through that phase. And even for me today, I know my work because of those night duties and emergencies that I've attended to. That is what has given me this confidence of knowing my work. So that is important. And you should know that you have to put in that level of hard work over here. So be prepared for that if you're going to go into this. Secondly, you have to be tough, you have to be thick skinned and confident, very confident in yourself, about yourself. Because during this time through MBBS and residency and whatever you go through in medical profession, you will always find people who try to bring you down. When I realized this, it was around in my internship phase when I had to do blood collections and I was doing my work, but I was not very fast enough. It was just my initial phase of internship. And one of the seniors actually commented saying, I am just good for nothing and I will not be able to do any kind of residency or I will not be able to do anything in my life. So that is the kind of behavior that actually exists even when I came to my residency period. So, the ragging part is officially illegal. It does not happen. Ragging does not actually happen. But there is a toxicity that exists. There's a hierarchy of seniors and juniors. You'll understand if you go into this. And I understand that there are some people more experienced and they need to get their due respect because they can do things better than you. But that does not give them the authority to demoralize the newly arrived juniors. Like through my residency, I realized after a couple of months that they are expecting work like, there are juniors who have just arrived with zero knowledge, zero experience, right? After a couple of months they can adapt to some new things, but it's not possible for them to work like they're working there for like about 100 years. But that is the level of work that is expected, and that is too much. I think there needs to be a better way of handling the newly arrived juniors. They need to be taught instead of being made fun of, embarrassed, being teased for things, and being mocked for almost everything. This keeps happening. This is something that does happen very often in 90% of the medical colleges. And it's quite sad, actually, because these kids who are in their 10th decided that they want to do something for the society, they come to a point where they now cannot live even a single day. It's difficult for them. If you see the news, there are news all over about suicides and depression issues in medical colleges, residency. And this is something that is not being looked at. So, there are some sensitive people who will not be able to take all this, who get overwhelmed by all such kinds of behavior. So for such people, I would sincerely say just stay away from this, because you have to be very tough skinned. You have to be very confident in yourself, that even if people say 100 things to you, you are not put down by them. I achieved that kind of a confidence after few years of working in anesthesia, because after a few years I understood my work. I understood that, even if it's not my fault, still seniors try to blame you for things, and this is quite normal in medical school. But if you are very confident about yourself, you don't care what people are saying about you, you can adapt anywhere, and you just know that you're tough enough, then you can definitely pursue this profession. Then this is definitely for you, because I feel now that this profession is definitely made for people who are tough. It's not for someone who is sensitive. It has changed me into a person who knows that all these things are normal, that people will just say random things to you, and I just got adapted to that. In the core I'm still sensitive, but I understand that this is normal, and now I know my strengths and my weaknesses, so I don't care what other people are saying. But that came with time, with experience. So definitely sensitive people will grow up with this, but when you already know that you will not be able to survive something like that, I don't think it's a good idea to actually go into this. On the other hand, if you are someone who gets offended very easily, is very quick to back answer other people, then I don't think this is something you should go for, because people will just say random things to you, and you have to make it a habit to just listen and just let it go. If you hold grudges, get offended very easily, then, and if you're talking back to people all the time, then it will be very difficult for you, because you'll be battling for your most days of your life. Now, if you're someone who thinks you can earn really well if this is a profession that will give you financial stability, well, I wouldn't lie, it does, but that happens at a very later age. You're going to be going through 4.5 years of MBBS, 1 year of internship, 3 years of post graduation residency, and even after that, if you want to super specialize, that'll take you another 3 years. And that will get you to about 31 or 32 years of age. That is without a drop. And even after that, you are a fresh pass out for people. So people will ask you for experience. So even after that, about 4 to 5 years, that is at around 37 to 40 years of age, that is when you actually start to earn a good amount of money. And that is when you will actually start thinking about financial stability. So I would say for people who have the support of their parents financially, for people where they don't have a financial burden in their families, I think you can definitely go for this. But if you are someone who your family is depending on you, and you don't think that you will be having that kind of a support, I don't think that you should go into this, because this will take you a long time to actually become financially stable. You will see your friends from other streams becoming stable in life much earlier, having their settlement, financial stability much earlier in their lives. So it will take you a long amount of time. It will be taking you much more time than your friends from other streams, and much more time than any other profession. So financial stability, yes, you do achieve it, but at a very later age. So think about that before going into this profession. If you are someone who wants to go into this field for the respect and recognition that you earn, well, let me tell you, that kind of respect and recognition that used to exist does not anymore. Like in rural areas, it still exists. People will treat you like you are from heaven, but that does not exist in urban areas. People instead, just rant about the high amount of fees that you take from them, will just keep complaining about stuff, and that is the reality. If you see the news, again, there are incidences of doctors actually being beaten up in hospitals. So forget about recognition and respect. Just the mere safety of doctors is a very big question. So I would say, if you're going into this just for respect and recognition, I think you need to think again. But yeah, if you are thinking about settling just in your village or some rural area, then definitely this is something that you can take up. Lastly, if you do decide to go into this field, your struggle, your stress, your life, your sacrifices will not be seen by other people, not even your relatives, your close friends that you had since childhood. Nobody will realize the amount of hard work and the real sacrifices that you actually do to go through this field. It's just, I think your friends who have actually been through that, your batchmates who are in the same profession, they will be the ones who understand what's going on. So it's only these people that you will relate to. There will be a distance that you will kind of develop with your relatives and your friends, because they will stop understanding your perspective, your point of view. And so I would like to say, if you should not have any expectations from other people to understand you. Stop expecting that other people will understand your struggle and your efforts, your sacrifices that you are doing in this field, because you will not get it. So have zero expectations about that if you really want to go into this field. So again, I'm not making this video to demotivate anyone. This is just to make you aware of what you will actually be getting into if you choose to become a doctor, so that you can take the right decision for yourself beforehand. If you think that you are someone who will be able to handle this kind of stress, this kind of a hectic lifestyle, the kind of toxicity that exists, and you have the financial stability in your family, if you have parents who are able to support you, then definitely you can think about going into this profession. um, but if you think you are someone who is very sensitive, might not be able to survive the kind of stressful situations that might come up ahead in life, then maybe I think you need to think again. Also, looking at the financial aspect, even if you have all the qualities, you think your family will not be able to support you, I don't think it's a wise decision to go into this, because it will take you a lot of time and effort to get through this. Also, if you think of going into this just for the respect and recognition and a standard that you will achieve in the society, I don't think it's worth it. You will be able to get respect, recognition, money in many other jobs today. There are many other careers where you can achieve that. So I don't think you should be going into this. Now, I cannot, that is how I can just generalize it. I cannot individually tell you how, I cannot personally tell you how, if this is something that you should do or not. But yeah, definitely you can comment below and ask me some questions about yourself, describing your situation, and I will definitely reply back to you if you would like to talk to me about this. And I will see you for another video.